The following KQED production was produced in high definition.
Yes, check please, people. It's all about licking your plate.
The food was just fabulous.
I should be in psychoanalysis for the amount of money I spend in restaurants.
I had a horrible experience.
I don't even think we were at the same restaurant. And everybody, I'm sure, saved room for those desserts.
You better.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. We have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week, motor clothing buyer Michelle Mayer is a Harley mama. She loves biking. It's the perfect way to avoid traffic, bridge tolls, and parking problems. This rider chose a casual dining spot with colorful murals and sunny Caribbean fare. It's her urban oasis. And police officer Nate Steger trades in those break room donuts for a restaurant high on his radar. It features an eclectic Mediterranean menu, a roof bar with views of the city, and music to dance to well into the night. But first, graduate psychologist Adam Rodriguez is a vegetarian, and he's crazy about his pick. He says it's the perfect alternate therapy from other carnivore-centered spots. It's in the Hotel California on Geary in San Francisco, and it's called Millennium.
Millennium's clientele is pretty diverse. The commonality is they enjoy quality vegetable-based cuisine. I'd say more than half are not strict vegetarian. It's a real large demographic. We'll get kids that are dragging their parents, screaming and kicking, and we usually make converts out of them, like that they can have a really enjoyable meal and have it be all vegan. Our cuisine is globally influenced. There's a lot of ethnic cuisines that are inherently very vegetarian friendly. We kind of take all those elements, combine it with seasonal local produce. So you're going to see African, you're going to see Asian, you're going to see Latin American, as well as European influences throughout our menu. I know my farmers that supply Millennium's product, and these are folks that are passionate and love what they do, and we feel honored to use their product, and it's, I feel, the best product you can possibly get. Personally, I'm not a strict vegetarian. I love cooking this way, I love eating this way. We're not trying to be preachy, we're not trying to wear it on our sleeves. What we're just trying to do is show folks that you can have a great dining experience with vegetable-based cuisine. It's better for you, better for the environment, and it tastes great.
All right, Adam, this is elegant vegan fare, isn't it?
Yes, gourmet vegan dining. Definitely the type of place where you're getting a real chef's flair done with the dishes. I have been going there for many, many years, and I continue to go back. It's one of those places where, as soon as the food comes out, conversation stops, and we talk about every single forkful of food that we just put into our mouth and how we can't believe the flavors that are coming out.
And you say, how did they do that? This is vegan.
Yeah.
How did they get it like this, right?
Yeah, they really do an amazing job putting the vegetables, putting stuff like, tempeh that not everybody has, putting stuff like seitan out there right in the bold part of the menu. Right there is the main attraction. We always start with the cornmeal encrusted oyster mushrooms, which are fantastic. They dredge them in cornmeal, and they'll do a lot of different sides with it depending upon when you go. The menu changes a lot. They might have like a nice citrusy, tangy chutney on the side of it. They might have something that's more searing with spice on the side of it. But whatever it is, it always complements it. It's a really fantastic dish.
Now, Nate, are you a vegetarian?
No.
I didn't think so.
I am an omnivore through and through. If it tastes good, I'll eat it. I don't care where it comes from.
And so your experience was positive?
It was very positive. I recognized the name, but I couldn't place it. My wife decides she's going to go to the gym before we go. We get there, she's starving. She wants protein. We're there a little early, they hand us a menu, we sit down, we're kind of perusing the menu. Then she looks at me, none too pleased, and says, Nate, there's no meat, or fish on this menu.
Which
Like
actually
my
pleases
How I
expression.
remember
Looks
it.
like my expression. That's
Which-
what I'm looking at my
That's
husband
something
like,
that is pleasing to me,
Yes,
actually,
yes,
when I
we
see
know,
that.
but-
Just so you know.
But to her, it was a little bit of a shock, and that's when I realized why I remembered the name.
Right.
We ended up going with it, and we had a great experience. We really did.
I'm not so sure about Michelle over here.
Yes, my husband and I went. We made a reservation at when they open. We showed up a little bit early. My husband's like Boy Scout honor, always be there on time. We went into the hotel. We were just sitting. We couldn't go into the restaurant. We couldn't go into the bar and sit in the bar. We couldn't do anything like that. They made us stay
And it's
out.
quite a glamorous bar.
Yeah, it's quite a great
Yeah,
bar,
nice,
you know,
big,
and they didn't
expansive,
want
right
us
in the
to sit
center.
in there. They were like, you have to wait outside the restaurant. You know, we ordered the 5-course meal, and everything it was just mushy and bland, and it was just, you know, we started with an appetizer. It was like some sort of hummusy thing, and then it went on to, it was like a cherry and mushroom deal that they were doing that night for their nightly
Yeah, the
menu.
seasonal thing. They do a lot of different
menu,
seasonal
yes.
whatever's in season.
The soup that came out was awesome. It was absolutely fabulous. The soup was great, and then the dessert was great, but our main courses lacked so bad.
Just
they
texture
were-
and flavor and
texture,
everything.
the texture of it, when I put it in my mouth, I was like, you know, just like ooh. It had no flavor, and they give you there's these little things of salt on the table, and I couldn't be thrown any more salt in that food to make it taste any better. I mean, I was just like,
I had just the opposite experience, pretty much. I mean, we went in kind of not sure. We even joked about going to the Pakistani restaurant down the way
Across
to get
the
some
street.
lamb chops after dinner. But when we sat down, we started ordering, and everything was great. It was very flavorful, had a great consistency to it. My wife ordered the tamale, which, you know, as you know, tamales can be very doughy and
Right.
heavy. Was perfect. I had the portobellos, which were lightly pan fried. I've always said if I went vegetarian, portobellos would be what I'm eating.
Portobello is
That's right.
always a great choice.
That's
yeah.
right.
So even at the very beginning, the green lentil puree that you put on the bread was fantastic.
Great alternative to butter just sitting there.
We got the corn and potato chowder, fantastic. Me, I was done right then. That could have been dinner.
What about desserts? Because
The
you guys did say desserts.
are amazing. I have always been astounded by what the chef does with desserts because everything is vegan and it's really hard to get cake or ice cream
Or tiramisu.
or tiramisu. I usually have the chocolate almond midnight, which is a staple of, I mean, it's right there front and center on the dessert menu. You can't miss it. It is spectacular for people who like the rich, decadent chocolate desserts. But I had the tiramisu this time to try something different. And it was more solid than a typical tiramisu is going to be, but it was amazing. They had this chocolate sorbet on the top with a little bit of coconut in it, a chocolate stout. It was fantastic. I don't know what they do.
Well,
back
because
there,
again,
but
it's a
it
vegan
is.
restaurant.
Yeah. And
very
I've
difficult.
always
was
been
awesome.
astounded.
The dessert was awesome.
Yeah,
I have to give it to
they're
them for the dessert. It was
amazing.
great. Yeah.
I feel like I missed out.
You really
Yeah.
should
Go
have.
back
Oh,
just
And
for
I don't
dessert.
have a
Should've done
sweet
dessert.
tooth. That's the thing. I don't have a sweet tooth.
Or
And I
interesting
really liked it.
cocktails like chai Manhattans and things
Yeah.
like that, and the
Yeah.
and the biodynamic and the organic and the sustainable list.
all of their liquors are infused in the house. So you're not getting some factory produced vodka raspberry. You're getting something where they actually take the vodka and infuse it at the bar there themselves. So you're getting the same fresh, you know, great ingredients that they put into all of the entrees. They're doing the same thing on the liquors, and I think that that's a really great angle to do. All of their different libations on the list are so much fun.
This is your restaurant,
Yes.
Adam. Tell people why they should go to Millennium.
Gourmet cuisine, vegan dining, yes, it is, but it's not one of those places that is catering to people who normally like meat and are doing fake steak or fake chicken. This is a place for people who love food.
All right, Nate.
I was very happy with it. Left very satisfied. Matter of fact, I feel like I missed out because I was too full to have any dessert. I would definitely recommend it.
And Michelle.
Unfortunately, it will be a Millennium before I go to Millennium again. I did not like it. I just did not like it.
All right. Well, if you would like to try Millennium, it's in the Hotel California on Geary at Jones in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-345-3900. It's open every day for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $45. Nate likes to start his evening with a cocktail and a 360-degree view of the city. Small plates packed with flavor follow in the dining room of this hip location. He recommends you speed over to the Elements Hotel on Mission Street between 21st and 22nd. It's where his restaurant pick resides, and it's called Medjool.
The Medjool date is the sweetest date. Originally, the Medjool date is out of Morocco, except years ago, a lot of the Medjool date trees were all catching a disease. They found 10 or 11 pairs that they did not have any diseases on them. A couple of them went to Jordan, and the balance went to an area by Santa Barbara. And now that area is the biggest Medjool farm in the world. Well, I kind of listened to the story and I said, wow, if a Medjool date can survive this, maybe it will survive. I love it. You work nonstop. Sometimes you feel the pain, but all it takes is one customer to walk up to you on their way out and say, that was so lovely. We had a great meal, great time. And just words like that, you forget all about the Advil that you've been taking all day.
All right, Nate, do you actually go up and sit on the roof of this restaurant?
You know what? I actually generally don't, because the roof can just become such a scene.
Right.
It gets jam-packed with people there just to enjoy the views, have a drink, and they have a little light fare up there, which is great. But I'm there to eat.
Right.
And upstairs is not where you go to eat.
Right.
Great place if it's a warm night. Even if it's a little cool, they have the heaters on and stuff.
They kind of have a barbecue out there.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a nice little social scene, but that's not why I go.
Okay, officer.
I go for
Tell
the
me.
food. My biggest weakness is trying to pick a single entree when I go and sit at a restaurant. It drives my wife up the wall. Server will be standing there for, everybody have ordered and then Nate.
So you like
Nate?
the small plates
I
concept.
love the small plates. Order a bunch of different stuff that I can have a sampling of, and that's one of the big things that I love about it. The other thing that I like about it is it's a pretty diverse menu.
Right.
You can eat healthy, or if you want to be a little bad, there's some fried calamari on there and stuff. There's some fried goodies, but all in all, it's very healthy food.
Yeah.
This is a vegetarian-friendly spot,
It's
isn't
a
it?
very vegetarian-friendly spot. I went up to the terrace when I first got there just to check it out because I know that it's really well known for that. But ultimately, I decided to go back downstairs to eat. And when I got to the lounge, it's this huge, there's like a 30-foot ceiling, and it's really expansive, but it doesn't feel that way when you sit there.
It's got sort of lush Moroccan touches.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so nice in there. I love.
You go right
that
down to
place.
these big, comfy couches and chairs.
Yeah, and you're just
and the
chilling,
tables.
and
You're
it's like the
totally
ambiance
relaxed.
is great. I mean,
Definitely.
they got the ambiance is
definitely.
definitely great there. We sat in the lounge area. We ordered a bottle of champagne, and we just sat there for a while, and then we went into our table.
We did the same
People
thing.
were
We sat there
so
with a
friendly.
bottle of wine, and we actually wound up
Actually, you
staying
had
in the
2
lounge.
bottles of wine.
We
I
had
think.
2 bottles of wine. I will
Wine.
say
What
this.
use?
I will say this. My wife and I were at Medjool for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we didn't even realize.
I didn't want to
You
leave.
wanna know what?
I did not want to leave.
I know. The
I have
only
done
way
that.
we know is because the DJ came on and started playing music, and we were like,
Yeah.
"What's
There
on the
going on?
weekend.
It's 10:30. Oh my God!"
We were there like
Yeah.
on a Wednesday night. I did not want to leave,
We
but
were there forever. We had 2
Well,
bottles of
now
wine.
this is a great atmosphere. I mean, it's a big, huge space. It's got a great vibe. Let's
But
talk
still
about
feels
the food
intimate.
because, as you said, this is the
food
food.
was awesome.
Yeah.
The
Mediterranean
food
menu.
was awesome. We
Eastern.
tried the Spanish cheese plate first, and then we tried the hummus plate. We had that as an appetizer, and then we had the lamb and the octopus for a meal, and between
Very
my
nice.
husband and I, and just shared it between the both of us, and it was just fabulous. I mean,
Now,
it
did
was
you have the
just
lamb sirloin or the lamb tagine?
lamb sirloin.
Okay.
It was
Gotta try the
great.
lamb tagine next time you go
I'm
back.
going there again.
Okay.
I'm
The lamb
definitely
tagine
going there.
kicks.
Yes.
Lamb and fig works.
Yes.
What else do you
Yes.
like when you go?
Always order the scallops. I love the scallops. Perfect consistency, always done perfect. And then they do a sunchoke puree on it, which to be perfectly honest, I never knew what a sunchoke was, and I finally looked it up.
Yeah.
exactly. So I finally looked it up and found out that it was actually a potato-like thing that became popular in Europe after it was taken over there. What else? I always get the Medjool sampler plate, which comes with the hummus,
That's
the
what we got,
tabbouleh,
the Medjool
and the baba
sampler.
ganoush. And I don't
And it's
like...
a family-run place. And like we talked to the nephew, the guy that runs it, the manager. He was awesome. I mean, he was just so friendly, and he was just like
He talked to me on the way out. He
great.
was so
I mean,
nice.
I was just like, whoa! I'm actually in San Francisco, and like somebody's in a restaurant. Somebody's
But so
treating me
you
nice.
get the best of this. You get this fantastic food, as well as you said, music on Friday and Saturdays, and it can be a scene, whether it's in the dining room.
It can be a little bit of a scene, but like you were saying, there's so many great vegetarian options, and because it's small plates and tapas, you can do a lot of different things. And my wife loves beets, and I hate them. I've tried them a million different ways. I don't like beets. They set down this beet salad, and it's done with this really light rose water with orange vinaigrette, and I could have died. I loved the salad. It was so
Wow,
good.
yeah.
She was like, you have to try this. I'm like, I don't like beets, but I'll try it to humor you. And I tried it, and I was like, sold right there.
And what about, did you have a vivacious white or a voluptuous red from this?
I had two
That's how they
big
organize the
reds.
wine list.
Yeah.
Yes, I had two. Well, I had the 2 bottles of wine, as we mentioned earlier. I will say I'm not a big fan of the stemless glassware. I really am kind of a wine snob, and I don't want my fingerprints on the wine glass. I don't want my hand heating the red wine. I want the stem to be able to drink from. So I didn't like that.
But they're very trendy.
But it's very
Very
trendy,
trendy.
and the wine was fantastic. They had stuff that really paired with the food well,
And well priced.
and well priced, very
Absolutely.
well priced.
Encourages you to have
Definitely.
2 or 3 or 4 bottles.
Definitely. It was cheaper than having a couple glasses
That's right.
that whole time.
And in terms of parking, I mean, would you ticket people if they're parked right out in front?
Well, right out in front is...
Or if they drank
the
2 bottles.
office
and
is
then-
good. Yeah.
I'll tell you, right out in front is a bus zone, so you don't park out front. But they do have valet parking.
All right, this is your restaurant. Tell people why they need to go to Medjool.
Why do people need to go to Medjool? People need to go to Medjool because the food rocks, diverse. You can take your vegetarian friends. You can go in a suit, or you can go in jeans and a t-shirt, and you're going to be comfortable. You know.
And what about you?
Yeah, definitely a very eclectic and diverse menu with a lot of vegetarian options. Really fun atmosphere that makes you want to come back and spend a lot of time.
And Michelle, will you go back?
Medjool is a jewel. It is a jewel in the mission. It is definitely a jewel in the mission, and I will definitely be going back to Medjool.
All right. If you would like to try Medjool, it's on Mission between 21st and 22nd in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-550-9055. It's open every night for dinner with a DJ on Fridays and Saturdays. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $25. Bright colors, casual atmosphere, and reggae music bring Caribbean sunshine to any day. At Michelle's Pick, you can sit inside or out and just enjoy. She likes to go for brunch, but you can go anytime. It's in Oakland on Piedmont, and it's called Tropix.
Tropix has been around for 10 years, and the previous owners wanted to capture a little bit of the Caribbeans when they opened the restaurant. And then my parents, about a year ago, acquired the restaurant, and they wanted to preserve. It's a very mellow experience, kind of an escape from the outside world. Tropix is a excellent brunch place on the weekend. One of the most popular dishes is the Granada omelet that has bacon and mushrooms and cheddar cheese, and the potatoes come with cumin and cayenne pepper and Caribbean spices. The plantains complement both salty and sweet dishes, and they add a little something extra from the Caribbean. This is kind of the restaurant you want to kind of slow down things, relax on the patio, have a sangria or mimosa, you know, just enjoy the sunlight, you know, have a good conversation with your friends, and it's that kind of a restaurant. The best part about running a business like Tropix is just meeting the great people that come in here and tell us how amazing the food is, or, you know, this is so relaxing, or gosh, your sangria is the best. Just to hear those kind of responses and seeing people leave really happy.
All right, Michelle, you're a mango mimosa kind of girl, aren't you?
I am a mango mimosa girl. I cannot go to Tropix without ordering me a pitcher of mango mimosas there. This place is just, I love it. I love going there. They give you, right when you walk in, a dish of cornbread with some mango chutney, and they have like a salsa, like a pico de gallo kind of salsa on the side. I go there, get a pitcher of mango mimosa. I mean,
just for you, of course.
Just for me. Yeah, my husband doesn't drink. Yeah, just for me. So, but I ordered the bistec de palomilla, and it's a steak. It's just so good, and they have the cilantro chutney that goes with it. It just melts in my mouth, and like the music's always playing, and it makes me feel good. And like you said about your place, like I can start a conversation with somebody at another table, and like just, you know, next thing you know, everybody's like having fun, and everybody's like doing the conga in there. Yeah.
Tell me about your experience.
Unfortunately, I couldn't go for brunch, but I could definitely see why you would want to go to brunch. Sat down, got the cornbread came to us, salmon chowder. I was a little skeptical about. Love chowder, love salmon. I was like going, the two, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. It came, it was perfect. Was warm and comforting. It actually wasn't too heavy, was really nice. Pork skewers, loved them. Came with onions and red peppers on them. They'd been thrown on the grill, it was really nice. The crab cakes though, fell short. Too much filler, too much breading, not enough crab. It really missed the crab flavor. All I could taste was like it was just a big mass of.
You know, it's funny because I've never had the crab cakes there.
I gotta get Adam in here.
Yeah,
because
I know you look like you're like about, yeah.
I did make it for Sunday brunch, and it was outside. It was a really nice day, and things were really hopping. And inside, I mean, just like you said, the pastels, the colors are so vibrant. It really makes you feel like you're in the Caribbean. Then the food came, and I was no longer in the Caribbean. The jalapeno cornbread is this great idea, but the problem that I had with it was bone dry. And I found myself, and cornbread should crumble, sure, but not into a million pieces where you have to eat it with a spoon. I was actually putting butter on cornbread, and I just think should never have to happen. But I loved the fact that they brought it out, and I liked every now and then you get that little bite of jalapeno. I love the mango mimosas. Those were excellent.
Oh, good. You tried them.
I tried the mango mimosa. But the only reason I tried it was because I had originally tried the sangria. And any time that sangria is on a menu, you have to try sangria. Yeah. I did not care for it. But I had the huevos verdes, and I went with 3 other guests, and that was definitely the best one on the table. I thought it was very good. Crispy tortilla, the green salsa was great, the egg was done very well, and the black beans, to me, if you're talking Caribbean food, there should be some spice, and there should be some just explosion to that. I didn't get that.
Well, see, they give you that mango chutney on the side.
The mango chutney was there,
and then you put it on there. That's what they do that for.
Did he order right? Because you go to there to brunch all the time.
I go there to brunch all the time. Yeah. Did they give you the pico de gallo? Did you have any of that? Because I always mix that in with the beans, and I mix the mango chutney in with the beans. Right. And it's phenomenal. I mean, it just spices it up.
The biggest disappointment for me was I went with a friend who does eat meat because I thought, let's see what they do with meat because, Caribbean food, jerk chicken. Right. So he had the jerk chicken for brunch, and he said it was bland.
Jerk chicken should be the exact opposite of
that
bland.
Should be something that is just, you're chugging it down with water, you've got to have the cornbread. But unfortunately, the biggest problem of the night was that the service really didn't come through. There were 4 of us dining, and 3 of our brunch entrees came out, and then the 4th person was sitting there with no food. And our food took about a half hour to come out. And the 4th person was sitting there with no food, and the server, if she had just come by and said, well, this is what's going on, we would have been okay.
We ordered the Puerto Rican baked pork, which came out, it was fatty, which is fine, that's the way it should be. Roasted pork, Puerto Rican pork is going to be fatty, you got to cut it off. That's what keeps it moist.
That
and everything.
marbleizing is
Yeah,
nice.
that's what keeps it moist. And then it came with two sides. It came with collard greens and mashed potatoes. Well, the collard greens were way too salty. And I couldn't. I took probably 2 bites and said, I can't do those. The mashed potatoes had this kind of ham flavor in it, which would be great under certain circumstances, but it didn't complement the pork. And I was like going, wait a second, this isn't working for me.
See, they did different mashed potatoes there. Like, I've had the chipotle mashed potatoes,
see, I was going to say, there's another gentleman who was complaining about the fatty pork at a table next to me, and I wanted to go over and say, hey, buddy, it's supposed to be fatty. But one thing that he did is, instead of ordering the regular mashed potatoes, he ordered mashed sweet potatoes. And I think that would have complemented it better.
Yeah.
Me, I would have been happy with black beans and rice.
Right.
Was what really should have come with, and some fried plantains.
Did you get any of the plantains?
The Maduros?
Yeah.
Do you like
which are
plantains?
really good.
I had the plantains.
The
And
plantains
if
were good.
The black bean dip that it comes with, if I had had that on my brunch item, that would have been fantastic because those were different. Those were full of spice, and those were really good. The plantains were great, and there's so much. We had one for the 4 of us to share. We didn't even finish it.
All right, Michelle, defend Tropix. Tell people why they need to go over
I
it.
love this place. I think maybe you had the mismatched kind of menu thing going on too, but this place is just, I love going there on Sundays, so I wish you'd go back there again and try it because it's really good.
Adam?
Great atmosphere, great decor. The food, not nearly enough spice, not nearly enough flavor, too bland.
All right, and Nate, would you go back?
I would definitely go back. I want to give brunch a try. I saw a few things on the menu that I'd like. The picadillo stuck out, has a nice warm environment, and I'm going to give it another shot.
All right. If you would like to try Tropix, it's on Piedmont Avenue in Oakland. The telephone number is 510-653-2444. It's open for lunch and dinner every day with brunch on the weekends. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $20. Well, I have to thank my guests on this week's show, Adam Rodriguez, Nate Steger, and Michelle Mayer. You guys rock. Adam's elegant vegan restaurant, Millennium, met with mixed feelings. Michelle will not go back, whereas Nate loved it for the service and great tasting healthy food. He'll go back in a minute. Next, Nate's Mediterranean pick, Medjool. Here, Michelle thought it was a jewel in the mission, and Adam, who even loved the beats, stayed for 4 hours. Last, Michelle's sunny location, Tropix. Adam desperately wanted to love this place, but was disappointed with both the food and service, while Nate loved the chowder and the pork and is planning a trip back to try the brunch. Another show is over with lots of mixed opinions. Don't forget that if you missed a portion of the show or you just want to see it again, you can view this and all the shows online, along with my notes on the wine and viewer comments. And don't forget the KQED Wine Club. They have some great finds to try. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sabraco, and I hope to see you then. Cheers in the meantime.
This show is available in high definition, on demand, and via podcast. For additional information on the restaurants featured, to comment, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease. A KQED television production.